Hey guys, now this video is a follow-up to my original Razer Ironclad review. Now I'm going to be referring to that review a lot in this video. So if you haven't seen it, look in the description below because I'll put a link to it. Go and see it. It's a bit long, but it's thorough, I think at least. And then come back to see this one, okay? I'll give you 2 seconds. Okay, you've watched it. Now let's talk. I want to talk about this. My Razer Ironclad. Now, before I start talking about it, I am gonna do my best to bring my camera in and try to show you guys what we're dealing with, because we are talking about damage on this mousepad, a lot of it. So I'll bring you in. I won't talk very much. I'll just try and get different angles of it so you can actually see the damage, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it, okay? I'm really gonna struggle to show you guys the actual damage on camera. It's much more apparent, you know, when you're just looking at it, because you know, it's silver on silver, and it's only a difference between shades of silver. Now I've got it zoomed in over here. You can see the size of the damage, about the size of my fingernail, right around this area. Now this is, you know, the normal surface of the mouse, and this is the aluminium underneath. Let's move the mouse pad a bit. Now I'm gonna zoom you out so you guys can see this where it is. You can also see right here. Maybe if I can do this, you can see, you know, scratches all around. Now I have some light shining on it so you guys can see it. I'm gonna zoom out now. Right, so the damage was over here and also over here. You can also see, you know, some white lines over here. That's basically where the mouse pad is. It feels like it's being sandblasted. Let me try and move it about a bit so maybe you can get a better angle at it. Okay, now I hope you can understand what we're dealing with here, because some of the damage is actually very superficial. Now the biggest problem, I don't know if the camera is going to catch it right now, but you saw it previously, is the area down here, right? The big peel off. Now in the original video I was wondering if the surface was actually just bare aluminum, or if it was coated with some kind of paint or lacquer or something like that. Now seeing this thing over here, now I'm sure that it's actually coated with some sort of paint. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of paint, and that's the bit that's peeling off. Now the very important thing is this damage here is right in the area where I put my hand, right? So I brush the palm of my hand right on this area all the fucking time. When I move my mouse, all like that. Now, first of all, I don't wear bracelets or stuff like that, or watches when I game or things like that. So this isn't damage caused by, you know, sharp objects or something like that. Also, every time I sit at my computer, I wash my hands. I'm a bit of a germ freak, and I want to keep my keyboard and my mouse pad clean. Again, now I haven't brushed this with, I don't know, metal brushes or anything like that. I've just cleaned it with, you know, a slightly wet rag or microfibers, stuff like this. Again, I've never, you know, had to scrub anything off it, so it's not intentional scratch damage. Now I've seen a lot of people online complaining about problems with this mousepad, about the same exact problem. Now I don't know if you noticed in the video, in the previous images, but besides the damage right here, which is obvious peeling, in this area over here you have a lot of scratches. Most of them are you know, vertical scratches like this, or sideways scratches like this. This is basically from where the mouse sat, right? Because I held my hand here, my mouse here. So my mouse moved constantly up and down, side to side, in this exact area. Now, the only mice I've used on this are Razer mice, my Imperator or my Orochi. So it's not like I'm using some off-brand mouse with stupid plastic feet or something that will be scratching the surface. It's Razer's own mice I'm using. And again, you know, if I look at it at this angle, I can see, you know, a lot of scratches over here, scratches everywhere. But on camera, it's really hard because the color of the mouse pad is very, just slightly different from the color of the scratched areas, and there's really nothing for the camera to focus on, so it's a bit hard. But I try to do my best. That's all I can do. Now I've stopped using this as of now. I went back to my SteelSeries 9 HD, which still has wear on it, but it's usable. Now this one at this point is not usable in my opinion. The stain, the tear off right here on the bottom, just appeared out of the bloom, and in one day it doubled in size. So I was like, nope, not doing it anymore. I've seen Ironclad online with like half of the paint peeled off. I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to have to scratch paint off it all the time. It's stupid. Right now, when I finished my previous video, I asked the question: was the Ironclad worth its money? And I said that if it proves to be virtually indestructible, then it would be worth its money. Well, to put it into perspective, my Razer Destructor lasted 6 months before the damage was too bad I couldn't use it. My Scarab lasted 6 months before, again, I couldn't use it because of damage. The Ironclad, which costs almost twice as much as those two, lasted me 6 months. So it seems like, this one, the SteelSeries 9 HD, also lasted me about 6 months. I can still use it, but just barely. I mean, it's marginally better than this, but in a month it's gonna be, just there, and the same amount of damage. So it seems for hard mouse mats, at least from Razer and this one, 6 months is the cutoff point. Now, should you be spending this amount of money for something that's going to last you 6 months? Honestly, I don't know what to say. I don't think it's such a good idea. It's such a shame because I really love hard mouse mats. And I'm not trying to, do a flame or on Razer or something. I'm a big Razer fanboy. I have keyboards, bungees, mice. I've had, all mouse pads, headphones, earbuds, all that stuff. So I'm a huge fan. And take this from coming from a fan. This mouse pad was awesome. Absolutely awesome for those 6 months. It was, and it still is in my opinion, the best mouse pad I've used. But having to pay this amount of money for something that only lasts you 6 months doesn't seem like such a good idea. Honestly, I think I'm going to go back and try some soft mouse mats, because my previous Razer Goliath lasted me 6 months. 6 months, and it costed like 20%, 25% of what this costs. And I rather use one of those and just have to buy a new one every 6 months than pay this amount of much money for the Ironclad and have it still run for 6 months. Now I want to show you something funny. Not funny as in haha. On the box, Razer says, I'm not going to zoom in because you can trust me, it says robust unibody construction, guarantees durability for intensive gaming sessions. Durability. Well, yeah, I mean, sure, it's not going to break it because it's aluminum, but the surface is the most important thing. The most important thing. I mean, I find it hard to believe that Razer doesn't know about these problems. And I don't see why they don't fix them. For a product that costs so much money, and it's supposed to be their high-end product, I don't know why they don't fix these problems. I really hope, that somebody from Razer sees videos like these and they actually do something about it. Now, if it's a limitation of the technology they're using that we have available currently, we can't make hard mouse mats last for longer than that without tearing or peeling or stuff like that, then I can deal with that. But a company like Razer should invest in stuff like this. They should bring out new technologies all the time. Also, another thing, when I got my Imperator, like a year and a half ago, I used the feet on it for 1 year. Exactly when I bought this baby, I also changed the feet on my Imperator. Now, in the first year of use, when I finally decided to change the feet, they were at the point where I thought, okay, these don't glide smooth anymore, I'm gonna change them. After using them for only 6 months on this Ironclad, the feet are much worse than the previous feet were after 1 year. So mouse feet wear is very, very high on the Ironclad, higher than any other mousepad I've used. I'm at the point right now where I really have to change the feet on the Imperator because it doesn't glide very well at all. But when I first started using this, I used new mouse feet. So you can't say, oh, you know, your feet were scratched and that's what scratched the surface. Sorry, it's not true. And it's not like, you know, I've had sand on it or food or stuff and just ran my mouse over it. I kept this thing clean, spotless, and my mouse feet, as I do with, you know, all my peripherals. I keep all of them clean. Now, I have to say I'm disappointed, but I think everybody should know these problems, so you know, so people can make the right decision, because that's what it's about. It's about making the right decision when it comes to spending this much money on what should be, and unfortunately it isn't, the best mousepad in the world. Bye guys.